going back to IBC, so you mentioned the relayer fee market kind of thing. That's probably something that will be figured out. And I think another new, or maybe a new direction for IBC is also for it to like branch out into other ecosystems. You mentioned Avalanche earlier. Like, what are you guys precisely doing there? I know there's a couple of teams also working, like bringing IBC to Ethereum or enabling some sort of compatibility there.
Help those
Composable did it with polkadot, right? I think I also heard Nears like in the works. Like, yeah, maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think if you look at the roadmaps that are coming out of the different IBC teams right now, you've got Informal proposing atomic IBC, the Polymer team also proposing something similar, which is pushing IBC down into the Tendermint layer and removing it from the app layer. That is a direction where IBC grows inwards. And we only use IBC in the atom economic zone. This is the vision of IBC as a sort of permission protocol that requires some kind of economic relationship with the Cosmos Hub. And that's one direction to go. The vision of IBC that is outlined in the Cosmos white paper, and is the one I think most folks in Cosmos are here for, and is the way that we've built IBC for a very long time, is the one that we're espousing. And that's an IBC that goes everywhere and helps provide a common language that all of these different blockchains can speak. And honestly, everyone else is trying the walled garden, closed permission system thing, and nobody else is working in the open permission system space. And as I mentioned earlier in the call, IBC itself is still light years ahead of all of these other communication protocols. So if we can get the developer semantics onto as many chains as possible and really connect all of these disparate places, I think that, you know, that's where the most benefit for the atom economic zone is, not trying to build our own walled garden. And this is the choice that we're going to need to make as IBC. And the current road mapping cycle that we're doing with the ICF is going to fund some of that work. You know, what you see is our vision of where IBC should go. And now we need to go find some funding to go do a lot of that, because that work, frankly, doesn't really pay great. So, you know, yeah, I think it's critical that we expand IBC to as many places as possible. It's the key differentiator for Cosmos, and it's what makes this stack special and different from other ones.
What is currently the closest competitor to IBC?
I think that when you look at competitors, they each have caveats. There is no one saying, like, we're going to connect all the chains in as permissionless a way as possible. There's people who are LARPing that. Look at Layer 0. They effectively have a 2 of 2 multisig where they control both of the keys, and they're providing authentication to move data back and forth. That's a great protocol. That's an interesting thing. But it's fundamentally a multisig. So there's this whole like world of multi-sig bridges, and I think IBC can compete in that. We have the solo client natively, and I think that important work over the next year, I think we call this out in the roadmap, is to build the ability to use IBC as a multi-sig protocol and just use the transport semantics over top of it and authenticate data with a multi-sig. This brings IBC to more developers and helps like win that protocol war. Layer 0 is sort of on the less secure side. And then I would say that there's this whole family of interoperability protocols that would be kind of committee based. And I see Mark here calling out Chainlink CCIP. CCIP, fundamentally, there's a validator set or a larger group of multi-sig signers or some other committee of users that authenticates messages moving cross-chain. Wormhole works this way. Axelar works this way. Chainlink CCIP works this way. So those protocols introduce a blockchain or a set of signers as the intermediaries, and they take fees for doing this. It's a great business. I think of these things as routers. If IBC is like the internet, then these committees are like routers that help route data around the internet. But no one's really competing at this fully permissionless level that allows any two state machines that implement the protocol to speak to each other. And I think that like that continues, that is expensive and hard to build. There's no way to build in monetization directly there, but that's the differentiator for the protocol, and it will allow us to do all kinds of things. And I think that's the way that we win. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's very helpful, because I think sometimes people see a tweet, of some other IBC competitor, and then they get confused and like, oh my God, they're gonna kill IBC now. And also, Polkadot's XCM. I think we talked about this even like 2 years ago. I actually have a video coming up.
XCM is another committee-based solution. You're using the Polkadot Relay Chain Committee to sign messages moving between Polkadot chains.
Yeah.